PlayStation System Software Update 2.0 has just launched for the PlayStation 5. This is the first major PlayStation 5 system software update, and I'm going to do a video wrapping up everything that is included in here according to PlayStation and give my thoughts and opinions on each of the different new features that they're promoting. PlayStation have done a really nice, easy, simple wrap-up video that's like a 2 or 3 minute video long, which just snaps through the features, which you guys can go and check out. If I remember to, I'll post it in the link in the description down below. If not, you can just look it up on PlayStation's YouTube channel yourself. But we'll just talk about everything in a bit more detail here. Now, before we talk about all the major features of the game, the things that you guys probably care about the most are trophies. So let's focus on the few trophy hunting features. These are hidden really well on the PlayStation blog as well. They're not really outwardly front and center. So let me just pull them up. So we've got two major things. Automatic capture of personal best videos. So when players compete in challenges for a better time or higher score and you set a personal record, it does capture a clip of that. So if you're competing in something like in Little Big Planet is their example here, it will capture a clip. It's very similar to what happens when you earn a trophy on the PS5. Probably something that's going to just take up a bunch of storage, so something I'll probably honestly turn off. But I guess it's a neat little feature if you're trying to one-up your friends and compete with your friends. Often there are games like Drive Club comes to mind where you're competing with friends on a better time. So it makes sense to have something like that that you can then just send to your friend automatically. They've also added a new trophy tracker, they said here. We've added a new trophy tracker that lets players quickly access up to 5 trophies per game through the control center, which means that you don't have to then close the game app or leave the game app and then go into the trophies app, because they're two very separate things on the PS5. It means you can then kind of keep 5 trophies that you may be working towards, maybe collectible based trophies or cumulative based trophies, just sitting there. So when you press control center, you'll be able to see them and probably see a progress bar next to them as well. That's, I think, the use case for these, which I think is very welcome. I would probably prefer it if they just allowed trophies to be accessed in control center, all there. I think if you could just see your trophy list through that, that's a better place for it than where it's hidden at the moment. I'm guessing it will eventually get to that point at some stage, but who actually knows when. That's all the trophy features that they've mentioned here in this update. There was a bunch of stuff in the beta about the trophy list going from horizontal back to vertical again, which I do hope is the case here, but it doesn't specifically call that out as a feature, so not sure if it's actually going to be implemented here or not, but fingers crossed that it is. All right, let's have a look at the major features. The biggest feature that is in this update is the expandable storage. That's the thing that most of the headlines and gaming websites will be talking about. So we'll start with that because it's probably one of the things you guys care about the most. As you're aware, the PlayStation 5 has a very limited amount of SSD storage. It's about 700 gigs of storage, which is not really enough to do anything unless you're really optimizing what games you have installed on the console at any given time. Previously, you were able to use an external hard drive for this, so you could plug it in and you could install PS4 games on this and run PS4 games off it. However, you couldn't play PS5 games off an external hard drive because it required the speed of the SSD to run them correctly, which is fair enough. So PlayStation have added the option to expand the storage. You can buy an additional internal SSD drive or internal SSD stick, which you plug into the PS5, and they've now allowed you to do that. So previously, the PlayStation 5 just wouldn't. So you could put it in, but it wouldn't do anything. Now if you put it in, it will work correctly. There's a lot of caveats with this. You have to use very specific type of SSD storage, and I might make an entirely different video about the best SSD storage for the PS5, so that could be a completely separate thing we do down the track. You have to use a very specific type of SSD storage with a heatsink included as well for it to work. And they're really expensive. At this point, buying about 1 gig or 2 gigs of storage is more than the cost of what a PS5 would cost you. So it's a bit of a toss up there if you want that additional storage. Kind of double-edged sword, honestly. It's nice that Sony have given us this option for that. I think that's a good thing because it allows us the choice. If we want it, we can pay that exorbitant amount of third-party cost to get that storage and have a bigger PS5 internal hard drive. I think it's a bit cheeky of Sony though in the beginning to give us a PS5 that is so severely under storaged, for lack of a better word. It probably should have had a 1 terabyte option to begin with, and then maybe even the option for a 2 terabyte bundle rather than just giving us this really 700 gig option. I guess it's a cost saving thing. They probably did that to keep it as cheap as possible, and in the future you might see a 1 terabyte option. That's my best estimate. That's kind of what they did with the PS4 when it launched, just with 500 gig options and then eventually releasing terabyte options down the track. So probably about cost saving and keeping that lower cost down so it could compete with Xbox. But now they've given us this option. Yeah, it's good to have it. I still feel a little bit shafted about the whole storage situation. I think it's just not enough given how big PS5 games are. But but whatever. That's the first thing. Secondly is more customization to Control Center. So as you're probably aware, Control Center is a very rigid bar at the bottom of your screen on your PS5 at the moment. Currently, you can't do anything with that. They're set in the way they are. But PlayStation 5 Update 2.0 is allowing you to fully customize where the icons go, so you can arrange them however you want, hide stuff you don't want them there, move stuff around that you do want there, in more better real estate, essentially. Yeah, good feature to have. Probably something that should have been there from launch, honestly. I don't know why it wasn't, but yeah, good that we've got it there now. I think it's a massive step up from what we had previously. No real criticisms by it, just that should have probably been there from the beginning. We have a bunch of new features to Gamebase, and these are very welcome. These are mostly around how you communicate with your friends, parties, things like that. So one of the big ones is you can actually reply to messages in Gamebase now without having to load up the full Messages app. Now, it's not a huge thing to load up the Messages app. It only takes a few seconds to do. But whenever you click on Gamebase and look at someone's message when they've sent you something on PlayStation 5, you can see the message and you can do like a quick reply and one of these silly like great or let's play quick replies, which are not really suitable for 99% of scenarios. Then you would have to then load up the PlayStation Messages app, write them a message, then go back to the game. They're allowing you to basically just multitask by pulling up Gamebase and then replying and seeing your full chat log there, which I think is a great thing. It's kind of what you have now with, like I said, the quick messages or the quick reply, but they're just giving you more power to that too. The other thing is they're giving you options on how your friends lists are going to be sorted through Gamebase. You'll be able to see if friends are offline, online, busy, things like that, which just gives you a little bit more control over like what your friends are doing rather than just giving you a long list of friends who are not online. The last thing they mentioned in this part was about friend requests, and if you've got a bunch of friend requests, you can either accept them or decline them all in one go. I don't really know the use case for this, honestly, unless I guess you just get a bunch of friend requests. I have no friends, so I don't get any, so it's never been a problem for me, but I guess it's a problem for some people, so that's a thing too. One of the most annoying things they've addressed here is that when you download a game that is PS4 and PS5 compatible, you never knew exactly what you were downloading, whether it was the PS4 version or the PS5 version, and you had to kind of go into the back end, change the version of the game you were wanting to play or download, and they've just split this out completely. Previously it was like one game title, so the example here is Sackboy. It would just have one tile, and that would include both the PS4 and PS5, and you'd have to download them both, and it was a whole thing. Now they've just scrapped that, they've split them out, so you'll see two tiles if a game is available on both PS4 and PS5. This is good. It eliminates confusion because I'm someone who I would consider a power user of the console, and it confused the heck out of me, which means that it's definitely going to confuse the heck out of someone who's probably a more casual user of the console. So something like this, just having them separated, is a really simple thing. Again, something that should have been there at launch, but good that they've added it in now. Probably something they didn't foresee until the console had launched and they had some more time to experience how people would be using it. So not going to criticize them too much for that one. They added a bunch of new features for PlayStation Now for PS Now users. You can now choose how you want to stream the game, whether it's in 1080p or 720p. You can alter that yourself, as well as doing different connection tests and things like that. Stuff that was available on the PS4. These are obviously features that we've had for a while on the PS4, and now they're coming across to PS5. Good to see those quality of life features coming over. I'm not a PS Now user myself, so it doesn't really do much for me, but I know a lot of people on this channel do use PS Now for trophy hunting, so you'll be able to probably enhance optimize the settings for your console and your internet. 3D audio has finally been added to the PS5 as well. This is an enhancement basically allowing you to have full 3D audio for any speakers, whether they be built-in TV speakers, surround sound speakers, whatever it may be. Previously, you had to have kind of a headset to get full advantage of 3D audio on the PS5. This now allows you to get full advantage of that feature without actually having a 3D audio device. It kind of simulates 3D audio or 3D surround sound. I don't think it's called surround sound anymore. I do think it's 3D audio, but it's good that they've finally added this in as well, giving everyone the option to kind of enhance their game a little bit further. Again, probably not something that everyone will use. It's a neat little immersion feature if you're into that, and it will work really well in games like God of War, Uncharted, or The Last of Us. The last thing they've done is added a bunch of things to the Remote Play app, so you can now remote play to your PS5 over mobile networks. Previously, it had to be a stable connection, which means that there's more options for remote play. They show you the ability to obviously play the whole thing handheld while actually on the go, which I think is kind of cool. It's sort of what the Vita promised almost 10 years ago and kind of didn't quite do. So that's neat to see that. It's probably not something, again, I'll use because the screen's really tiny and I don't like those controls on the touch screen, but I know that some people in this community do use that. And then the last thing is about screen sharing. So on the PS5, you're in a party, you can screen share what you're seeing basically with the people in the party. So it's kind of like a live stream, but private to who's in your party. I guess it's like, hey, I'm having trouble with this section. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? Or just your mates want to watch what you're doing, which I've had some friends sit down and watch me. I had Jersey watch me play Call of Duty Black Ops 4 for about 2 hours the other night. So it's something that people do enjoy. You're now able to watch broadcasts through the PlayStation app as well. So you don't have to be on the console to do it. You can be remote, or you can be away, or you can be just, as long as you're in the same party, you can actually view your friends' broadcasts through that too. So if they're not wanting to go live on Twitch or something like that, that's an option for them as well. So I don't know, there's a bunch of other minor features that they mentioned in the blog post here, but nothing I would say that's going to blow anyone out of the water, so I'm not going to talk about those too much. But let me know what you guys think of those features. Let me know what you think of the trophy features, as well as all these standard features that we've talked about as well. And let me know in the comment section down below what you think. System Software Update 2.0, I guess. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It only improves things, doesn't break anything, hopefully. Well, we don't know if it's going to break anything yet, but we'll see if it breaks anything. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Patreons for September. I want to give you a warm thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to each and every one of you for keeping all the lights on here at Platinum Trophy HQ by supporting me either via Patreon or by a channel membership below. You'll see your names over here next to me if you are a Patreon or a channel member. Thank you, each and every one of you. If you also want to support the channel and help keep the lights on over here, you can do that by hitting the link in the description down below and joining me on Patreon, or clicking the join button on YouTube just down below, and you get access to emotes and some other exclusive things there as well. Every single cent counts. Thank you all for the encouragement and continuing to support this channel so I can continue making great content. Thanks for all those watching, as well as all my extra special supporters.